Hello everyone, I am Mary Shakina. I am working as a guest lecturer in St.Joseph's College of Arts and Science, Cuddalore. In this video, I am going to discuss with you about the looping statements in C. First, let's see what is loop. The loop is defined as the block of statements which is repeatedly executed for certain number of times. That is, the loop is nothing but the set of statements which will be repeated continuously until a particular number of times. That is called as loop. Loop is classified into two types. One is entry controlled loop and the other one is exit controlled loop. In entry controlled loop, the test condition is tested first. If the condition is true, then the set of statements inside the loop will be executed. If the condition is false, the statements inside the loop will not be executed. That is called as entry controlled loop. That is, if the condition is true, then only the statements inside the loop will be executed. In exit control loop, the body of the loop will be executed first before the condition will be tested. That is, in this case, the statements inside the loop will be executed once before the condition will be tested. This is the diagrammatic representation of loops. Loops is classified into two types. One is entry control and the other one is exit control. There are two loops which comes under entry control. One is for loop and the other one is while loop. Under exit control, do while loop comes. This is the syntax for loop and this is the syntax for while loop and this is the syntax for do while loop. All the looping statements will follow these four steps. First step is initialization of variable. The second step is testing the control statement. And the third step is executing the body of the loop depending on the condition. And the fourth step is updating the condition variable. Both the entry controlled loop and the exit control loop will follow all these four steps. First, let's see the for loop in detail. As we have seen before, the for loop is an entry controlled loop. That is, the condition should be tested first. Based on the condition, the loop will be executed. The for loop is used to execute set of instructions repeatedly until the condition becomes false. This is the syntax for the for loop. The for loop has three parts. The first part is initialization and the second part is test condition and the third part is increment or decrement, and this is the body of the loop. So these are the three parts of the for loop. The first part, initialization, is used to initialize the variable and the second part, test condition, is used to test the condition, and the third part, increment or decrement, is used to increment the variable or decrement the variable. Let's see an example for the for loop. Here hash include stdio.h is the header file. We include this header file for the standard input output function. What are the standard input output function? Printf and scanf is the standard input output functions. In order to working of these functions, we need to include this header file in our program. And inside the main program, we declare one variable, that is I. And these are the parts of the for loop. The first part is initialization and the second part is test condition and the third part is increment or decrement variable. Here how the for loop works means, first the variable will be assigned the value, that is I is equal to 1. Next step is the condition will be tested. Here the value of I is 1. 1 less than or equal to 5. The condition is true. So the for loop, the statement inside the for loop will be executed. Here we are going to print the value of the I. What is the value of I? 1. So the 1 will be printed. And the next step is increment the variable. So I is incremented to 2. Now the value of I is 2. 2 less than or equal to 5. The condition is true. If the condition is true, the statement inside the loop will be executed. So now we are going to print the value of I. Now the value of I is 2 because it is incremented from 1 to 2. So the 2 will be printed. Next step is increment the variable. Now the I value is incremented from 2 to 3. So 3 less than or equal to 5. The condition is true. So the statement inside the loop will be executed, which will be print the value of I, which is 3. Again increment. Now the value is incremented from 3 to 4. 4 less than or equal to 5. The condition is true. So the value will be printed. 4 value will be printed. Now again increment. The I is incremented to 5. 5 less than or equal to 5. The condition is true. So the output 5 will be printed. Again it will be incremented. Now the I value is 6. 6 less than or equal to 5. The condition is true. So the loop will not be executed. It will exit from the loop. This is how the for loop will be executed. First step is initialization. The second step is testing the condition. If the condition is true, the statement inside the loop will be executed. And next step is increment and again testing the condition. If the condition is true, the body of the loop will be executed. This will be continued until the condition becomes false. Now let's move on to while loop. As for loop, the while loop is also an entry control loop. The test condition is evaluated first. If the condition is true, then the body of the loop will be executed. If it is false, the body of the loop will not be executed. This process will be repeated until the text condition is false. This is the syntax for the while condition, while loop. While in bracket it is condition, and if the condition is true, the body of the loop will be executed. If the condition is false, the body of the loop will not be executed. Let's see an example for while loop. Here we are including the header file and the variable I is assigned to 1. Now the value of I is 1. Next we have to test the condition. 1 less than or equal to 10. Our condition is true. So the body of the loop will be executed. This will be true until the I value is 10. If the I value is 11, the condition becomes false. So the loop will not be executed. Until 10, the loop will be executed for 10 times. So the output will be from 1 to 10. Once the condition becomes false, the loop will be exited. It will not execute the statement inside the loop. Next one is do while loop. Do while loop is exit control loop, which means the body of the loop is evaluated first, not the condition. Here the body of the loop is evaluated first and then only the test condition will be evaluated. If the condition is true, again the body of the loop is evaluated, and this process continues until the condition is true. This is the syntax for do while loop. Do body of the loop. Here the condition is not tested first. The condition is tested at the end of the while loop. So even though the condition is false, the body of the loop will be executed for one time. Let's see an example for do while loop. Here the I value is initialized to 1. Do printf I. We are going to print the value of I before the condition is tested. So the value output 1 will be printed before testing the condition. Next, after printing only the condition is tested. 1 less than or equal to 5. The condition is true. So again it will print the I value. This will repeat until the condition becomes false. What is the difference between entry controlled and exit controlled means? The while loop and the for loop are entry controlled statements and do while loop is the exit control statement. Here the condition is first tested, then only the block will be executed. If the condition becomes false, the loop will be exit. In exit control loop, even though the condition is false, the body of the loop will be executed for one time, then the condition will be tested. Loop will not be executed if the condition is false. Loop is executed at least once, even though the condition is false. This is the difference between an entry controlled loop and the exit controlled loop. Thank you.